Right, what we have here today is the Baofeng BF-R5. This is a 16 channel radio, very similar to the BF-888. Let's see what's inside the box. Right, this is what you get inside the box, the usual gubbins, the not very useful manual. Thank you for your purchase card, lovely. Standard little antenna. Here's the radio. Let's see what we've got on the back here. It's the R5, power 5 watts, which I very much doubt, and the voltage of 3.7 volts. There's the standard little charger with the your standard international power connection. A little battery pack here, which is very similar to the battery pack on this radio, which is this one I think is more or less based on. And can't see if that focus. That's 3.7 volt, 2.8 amp hour battery. Again, I'm not so sure about that, but we'll see. Comes with the usual belt clip. No lanyard included in this one, but what it does come with is the death adapter. Let's look at the death adapter. I've got lots of these. That's just a word of warning for people buying these radios. I'll just show you something. Right, these are the adapters that they give you with these radios. I've got lots of them. But a word of warning to folks in the UK using these: be very careful. These are not safe. There's a couple of reasons being. The earth pin is often not connected inside, so they're not actually earthed. But secondly, there's no protection against you plugging in another appliance, and there's the earth pin, and plugging that straight in to the adapter. And by doing so, you would make the chassis of whatever this was, if this was a lead on the end of here, plugged into that, you would make the entire casing of it live. So very dangerous, and they really shouldn't be shipping anything with these adapters. So I mean it works for connecting up the lead that comes with it, fine, it's absolutely fine, but be very careful where you use these, because if kids got hold of these and started playing around, it could all end in tears. So my advice would be to cut this plug off at the end here and fit a 13 amp plug onto it if it's going to be anywhere near children particularly. And here is the radio, the Baofeng. I've been told off for saying it wrong, so it's Baofeng. This is the R5. I noticed this on eBay, particularly because it was a new style I hadn't seen before, and they're advertising it as having showing it like covered in water, as if it was some kind of waterproof radio of some kind. But I don't think it is completely waterproof. It certainly looks quite reasonable. There are some fairly good, it's got quite a good rubber seal around the mic and speaker input there, and it's also got looks fairly well sealed across the buttons. Your standard push to talk button, your squelch button, and then your lamp button on the back there. It's got the usual indication LED, and the male SMA connector, that's a male in there. The 16 channel switch, same as the BF-888 and the 235, and then the on-off volume control switch. It does feel, it's a nice little radio. It doesn't feel quite as solid as the 235. Let me just assemble the radio with the antenna, and we'll put it up against the 235 and see how it looks. Standing them together, you get a good idea of the size difference. The 235, which I think is a brilliant little radio, by the way. I don't know if you've seen my other video on these. These are a wonderful alternative to the BF-888, much more stylish than the 888. This is a very similar radio. Weight-wise, they feel about the same, but I will actually pop them on the scales and just see what the weight difference is. This feels more, I want to say plasticky, but it feels a little bit cheaper than the 235, but it's still a reasonable, it still feels quite rugged, particularly with these hard plastic. They're not rubber. This red piece here is hard plastic indents on the side, but it's got a nice feel to it. Sits nice in the hand. It's nice and small, and so perhaps the radio for younger radio amateurs, this one, because it can be programmed with the splits exactly the same, so you can use it on repeaters and whatnot. So let's just pop them on the scales just to see what the weight difference is, because it does feel a little bit lighter. Alright, let's pop on the R5, and for fairness we'll pop the belt clip on as well. So that's 165 grams. Okay, let's see what the 235 is. Okay, the 235 is 183 grams, so a little bit heavier as suspected. Now, as far as charging goes, this is the charger for the 235. Here we go. And Baofeng, they're well known for changing the battery style, which means that one radio to another isn't compatible. But this is very similar. Here's the new base, and you can see the layout is very similar with these little back guides that guide the radio into the contacts. But they've actually seen sent to made it pretty similar, so the radio does actually sit in there and charge. The green lights on there. One thing you do have to watch with these is with these chargers is there's no reverse polarity protection on these. So even though that's showing green, it's actually not charged. It's actually because it's not plugged in. So we'll have to get this on charge before we take it out and do a bit of testing. So that's something to watch, that even unplugged, those lights tend to come on these cheap units. So there we go, we plugged it in, and the R5 is now charging. Little red LED down there. We'll get this one charged up, and I think it was pretty close to full anyway. One thing I suppose I could check is whether the battery packs are interchangeable between the two radios. We'll just try that before we do anything. I always keep these radios charged up and ready to use. It uses this little clip at the bottom. That's focusing. Pull that out with your thumb, and then you can simply just slide the pack off the back. Now it does look a little bit different, if I'm honest. Let's have a look. Okay. Yeah, it is different. So the battery packs aren't replaceable. This is off the 235. It's supposed to be the same capacity. Well, it's 2.3 amp hours, and this is 2.8. But this pack actually feels heavier than that one, so I'd be very suspect of the capacity of this one. That said, though, I find in use the Baofeng radios are very good on the batteries, and I can't ever remember actually having a battery run out. So that said, they are pretty good, and they charge fairly quickly. See, that just clips in nice and quickly. Same with this one. Just slides in and then shuts, so we can drop it back down into the charger. Yeah, they charge pretty quickly, and the battery lasts a fairly long time. Right, I'm going to mention it because a lot of people ask. It's really essential to get yourself a programming cable like this off of eBay. You can either get it with your radio or buy it from a third party on eBay or Amazon. Reason being, these radios come out of the box programmed with frequencies that are not legal for you to use, even if you're a licensed radio ham. So please get one of these cables and program these radios before you use them. Right, the programming lead plugs in on this side, for those that are not familiar, into the earphone mic connection. Got to plug it in firmly. There we go, and then we'll just download the channels off of this radio to show you what frequencies they are on, and then you can check up to see if you're a radio ham or if you're just using these for a bit of fun. You must get these programmed up before you use them. Okay, now we've got the radio plugged in to the USB port. We should use a program called Chirp. A lot of people have asked. It's Chirp. Google it, danplanet.com. And what we do is we pop into plug it in, click on Download from Radio, and it'll bring us a box. Now, I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of this because there are other videos on YouTube which show you how to set this up, but mine is already set up. The model, I don't think it's going to be selected on here. Oh, it has it got it? No. So we're going to leave it as a 888 because this is based on the 888. Okay, so we click on OK, and it says couldn't open port COM9. So let's go and check in the device manager and just double check we've got the right port. Right, checking in the device manager, I could see that it was actually set to COM5. So we'll change this. You can do that in the little drop down and go OK. There we go, and now it's actually reading from the radio all of the channels that are programmed into the radio. Now, as you see, looking at the channel list from the download, we're on frequencies here which are not legal for me to transmit on. Some of them are, some of them aren't. They're not legal for you to transmit on in the UK, and probably not in many other places around the world. So what I would suggest that you do is that you go online and you look for, in your country, frequencies you can use if you're a radio ham, If you have bought these with the intention of using them on PMR, you're not strictly supposed to, and I get lots and lots and lots of messages about this, but if you're going to do it and you bought these, please do not use them out of the box. Go onto online and type in, if you're in the UK, just type in UK PMR, and if you're in the US FRS family radios, and on there, there's a Wikipedia page, and you will find listings of the frequencies. Please, please, please don't message me to tell me that it's illegal and give me loads of grief, because I'm just advising you. I'm not telling you to use these radios on those frequencies. Okay, what you can do when you've got other radios is you can download the images from the radios. That's the image from the BF-R5 that we saw earlier, that radio. Okay, and that I've had saved on there, and that's got the UK PMR frequencies in here just for testing purposes. I don't use these on PMR, but that's got the UK PMR frequencies in here just to test it. Again, it's not strictly legal to use these radios on PMR. Please don't keep reminding me, I'm fully aware of that. But people are going to use these on PMR, and these are the settings, the frequency settings. Pause it if you like, if you can't find it on Wikipedia, that you can use in the UK. I prefer that you did that if you've got these radios than to use them out of the box, because you will cause interference. Right, that's out of the way. We don't need to say that anymore. Okay, so that's the one downloaded from the radio, and we're going to replace it with this one. Okay, excuse me because I'm doing this one-handed. So we go to radio and we click on upload to radio, and we get our little box come down here. We know it's COM5. Don't worry about it being a 888. Let's say the chipset is the same. Upload into radio, and that's it. That's done. Okay, so now we should have those frequencies set in the radio. But for the purposes of the test and for legal reasons, I shall set one of the channels on here, as you see there, channel 16, to 433-600. So we can do, I'm a licensed UK radio ham, so we can do a test on 433-600 with this radio. And we'll do a power test as well. The battery, we'll put it back on charge and charge it up. Right, just for reference, we're going to use the BF-R5, the black and silver radio, just to show you. We're going to key up here, testing 1, 2, and we're getting 1 watt. We're looking at the lower scale, the 5 watt scale, just there. Try again, and we're getting just over 1 watt on the BF-R5. So that's a good reference. That's a fully charged radio. Just waiting for the new radio, the R5, to charge up, and then we'll drop that on the power meter and see what we can get. But you can see from there that these radios really have too much power to legally operate on PMR and FRS frequencies. So please, if you're going to use them, but please, people on here, don't message me to tell me about the legality of using them. Again, I'm going to stress it again because I get so many messages about it. But if you're a licensed ham, get them programmed up. These are great. These are cracking. So let's get the R5 on here and see how that goes. Right, we've got the R5, the new radio, plugged in. Let's give it a try. Again, you're looking at the bottom scale to 5 watts there. There we go. We can see that's 1.5 watts. So it's got a bit more power than the 235. Let's try one more time. There we go. That's interesting. So it has got a little bit more power. Now, people have asked. I'm going to tell you. I've got a very cheap DVB-T dongle here, the 82OT2, which you can get online for I think about £7. So I got mine directly from AliExpress, I think, and that's what I'm using with the SDR software on the PC to record. And I've got the this pigtail here connected to this, which is through a switch to a 2-meter collinear, which is on the side of the house, up at about 30 foot off the ground. Okay, so that's the system I'm using to record all of the transmissions from these radios. Right, let's go out to location A, which is 3 miles away, and try these 2 radios out. Seems like quite a nice day for a drive. It's fairly mild, and it's not too windy, so hopefully things should be pretty decent. Let's go and give them a try. Right, we're here at location B, approximately 3 miles from the home QTH, and we're going to test these Baofeng BF-R5. Okay, let's give it a try. And it's got a little bit more power, and we know that from just looking at it on the power meter, so it'll be interesting to see what difference that equates to in terms of signal strength. I'm going to stop and start the SDR using the Nexus 5 here, so that's quite straightforward and easy to control. Again, to people that have asked, I just use the SDR software to record the stream, and then I can go back and stop and play it back. And because it's such wide bandwidth, I can find any transmission within that about 2 meg band, so it's pretty decent. So I don't have to be spot on frequency, if you see what I mean. Right, let's go and give this a try. Right, let's give this a try then. Okay, it's a bit windier than I thought actually. This is G7LNK portable. G7LNK portable testing the Baofeng R5 at approximately 3 miles, location A. G7LNK portable. G7LNK portable testing the Baofeng R5 at approximately 3 miles, location A. One more try. This is G7LNK portable testing the Baofeng R5, location A, approximately 3 miles. This is G7LNK portable testing the Baofeng R5, location A, approximately 3 miles. This is G7LNK portable at location A with the Baofeng BF-R5 testing. This is G7LNK portable at location A with the Baofeng BF-R5 testing. Give it another go. This is G7LNK portable with the Baofeng BF-R5 at location A, approximately 3 miles, testing. This is G7LNK portable with the Baofeng BF-R5 at location A, approximately 3 miles, testing. Okay, let's go to location B, which is 7 miles, and see exactly what the signals are doing there. We'll just stop the SDR. Right, here we are at location B, 7 miles, and it's pretty muddy and horrible out there. Okay, we'll just check the SDR's working and see, make sure we can get a signal. Let's try and connect if it's not disconnected. It looks like it's connected there. Yep, I can see. It's going to be quite hard to film this. I can see stuff moving. Let's see if we can go up the screen. There we go. You can see waterfall there. So we'll just try one of the radios while we're sat in the car, just to give it a go. We'll try the R5.
Power on. 16.
G7LNK portable testing. There you go. You can see the spike. You can see the spike there. So
16.
we'll start it recording, and we'll get out and do another test. This is G7LNK portable testing the Baofeng R5 at location B, approximately 7 miles. This is G7LNK portable testing the Baofeng R5 at location B, approximately 7 miles. This is G7LNK portable testing the Baofeng R5 at location B, approximately 7 miles. G7LNK portable testing the Baofeng R5 at location B, approximately 7 miles. This is G7LNK portable testing the Baofeng BF-R5 at location B, approximately 7 miles. Still got the other radio on in my pocket, I could hear it. This is G7LNK portable testing the Baofeng BF-R5 at location B, approximately 7 miles. This is G7LNK portable testing the Baofeng BF-R5 at location B. Okay, let's go and see what that sounds like. Let's turn off the SDR. Into the car, turn off the SDR. Now, this is all we do. Get up on the radio there and click the stop button. We're upside down, but we can still do it. Stop. Okay, we have stopped recording. Turn this round. There we go. And the reason I'm keen to stop the recording straight away is because focus or whatever. Is because the SDR creates quite big files because there's a bit of noise there. Because you're recording that whole segment in audio and in RF, so there's quite a lot of data there. So they're big files, and it's only a little machine, that one. So that's why we stop it straight away. Okay, right. So I suppose we better sum up. Really, let's do a summing up. Let's get the radio out of my pocket. Okay, let's look at the radio instead of me. Right, here it is in the sunshine. The Baofeng, and I pronounced that correctly, I'm sure, because I got a lot of messages about me not pronouncing the name right. So it's Baofeng, I've been told. Someone will probably correct me again. Okay, but this is a really nice little radio. When I first saw it, I wasn't quite sure, but it actually is really, really nice. I think it possibly is a little bit more waterproof than some of the other radios. And what this particular one, I can't guarantee they'll all be like that, but this particular one did seem to have a lot more power than the BF-888S and the BF-235. So it's a less, I suppose you'd say, flashy radio compared to the 235, but it's certainly got probably a bit more punch. So it'll be interesting to see when we look at the signals back from the SDR to see exactly how this is performed. But I mean, £15 delivered from China. I mean, that's not bad, is it? Really? You know, it could be cheaper, I guess you might say. But I think that's a jolly good little radio. Another one to add to the collection. I say there's no reason not to collect these other than space, because it can't really be cost because they're so cheap. Okay, well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave anything in the comments below if you feel the need to ask me anything. And well, let's get on and make another video, shall we?